and gotten used to it. But you know, the thing is I have a lot of fun, and I found a way to sort of turn travel into being less of a hassle and to make it a bit of a fun. And so that's one thing that I really enjoy about my travels.
Now, Joel, we're always looking for a deal, and you know, I tend to now. It seems like there's so many websites out there that you go to, and you don't know like who's got the better deal. What's a good tip on where you go to get the best deal?
You know, the thing about that is, and I talk to travelers all the time, and a lot of times what they tell me is they say, gosh, you know, I spent, you know, 4 hours, 5 hours on the internet trying to find the best ticket price, the best hotel rate, or, you know, best car rental rate, and they end up not really saving much. And I think really the best thing to do is to book direct. And there's a lot of reasons why you want to book direct. One of the reasons why is you have someone to deal with that you can hold personally responsible. And there's a lot of times when, you know, I've booked a hotel room and I made a mistake. For instance, I booked a hotel room in San Francisco one time. I made the mistake and I called the hotel up, and since I booked directly with them, they were able to correct the mistake for me. If I would have gone through one of the other websites, it's very difficult sometimes to really amend that. So I think the key thing is to try to book direct, and really what you need to have a lot right here, Laura and Rich, is to have some loyalty. The travel industry right now is making such a big push to try to reward loyalty. And you know, and I know that like with airlines, sometimes it seems like, well, there's not a lot of award seats and availability. So I think really a good place to concentrate your efforts is with hotels. And yeah, and you know, because really hotels have gone up in price. You know, you can get airfares fairly inexpensively, but hotels really are still remain pretty expensive. And there's a program that I really like. It's called the Carlson Group of Hotels, and you know, they have the Radisson, they have the Country Inn and Suites, and I think they have properties in like 71 countries, 965 properties. But what's really nice is they just revamped their program, and so now you can get a 50 to 100% point premium without having to increase your redemption level. So basically, you know, in that program, you get much more bang for your buck.
Yeah, because every time I try to upgrade or something on an airline, it just seems like you need so many miles just to get a little upgrade.
Yeah, but you know, really the best use of your miles is to upgrade them, because to use them for upgrades. Because what happens is realistically, you know, say if you're flying across country, you can get an airfare for maybe less than $300. But if you upgrade that, and if you use maybe 15,000, which is average, to maybe 20,000, you can upgrade that ticket, and now you have like a $1,500 ticket. And what's really nice is if you use those little points, and you know, as you know, from credit cards, you can earn points through your credit card, so you can rack up the points pretty easily. Use them for upgrades. That can get you through the security line, because if you have a first class ticket, that will give you, and they have two lines at security. They have one for the regular travelers, and they have one for preferred. And so
the important people like you,
yes,
Joel.
the rich important people.
You have to have a little bit of loyalty, but
yeah. So you're saying to upgrade it as opposed to trying to get a free ticket, because really tickets are pretty inexpensive now.
They really are, and really your best bang for the buck is to try to use it for upgrades. A lot of times when I'm going to Europe, you know, I'll buy an inexpensive ticket, then I get a business class or first class ticket, so that all of a sudden turns my, you know, maybe $800 ticket into a $4,000 or $5,000 ticket. And, you know, something else I think that's really important is to realize what you're doing when you get to a city. A lot of times I'll go to a new city and I'm really unfamiliar, so if you can kind of like acclimate yourself to a city, that will really help you kind of get around, like go to the local restaurants, go to the local shops. And something I use is, it's called the superpages.com. And it's really neat because they tell you about the opening hours, the closing times of businesses, maybe local events. And you can actually go online, you can download a program to your cell phone or to your BlackBerry, and that way you can take it with you. So it's a real nice way to navigate through a city.
Well, that's a great idea.
There are so many avenues that we can tap into now. Are travel agents still being utilized? I mean, it seems like with the Internet out there now and so many services available to just the commoners like us, it seems like that would really cut into the business.
It really has. I think that travel agents provide a good value if you're planning a complex itinerary. You know, maybe if you're going to Africa on a safari, or if you're doing something that's very much involved. But really, if you're just going home to see, you know, your parents for Christmas, or taking a trip down to Florida or to New York, booking direct with the travel providers really gives you the best bang for your buck. And the other thing is you don't pay anymore. In fact, a lot of times you pay less because you're not paying a service fee. So you actually end up saving money. And one of those, when they come to this upgrading category, and I talk about this in my book, The Penny Pincher's Passport, is when they look at people who they are going to upgrade, they look at those people who book direct, particularly with hotels, because they're saving them money.
Aha! I love that idea.
Yeah,
Saving money is always good.
It's good. The other thing I think that's also important, and when I'm traveling 250,000 miles a year, I'm in a lot of airplanes, and as you've read in the news, a lot of them become sort of this hotbed of viral activity. So what's real important, I think, if you're taking a trip, is to try to stay healthy. And I wanted to tell you about this new product that I started using, which is pretty neat. It's like a salt rinse solution, and it has antioxidants, it has a lot of vitamins and herbs, and it's called Simply Gargle. And I use it whenever I get a sore throat, because I get so many sore throats from the planes that I don't want to get sick, so I use it.
Oh, yeah.
Your description alone was kind of disturbing. A viral hotbed.
Yeah, well,
You're like you're in a
activity.
giant petri dish up there.
It is, and the other thing is it's also TSA friendly, so you can get it through the security lines.
You go to simplygargle.com for that?
Yeah, simplygargle.com. Yeah.
Hey, with that in mind, I was just reading this thing about the dirty hotel rooms and the germiest places in hotel rooms, the thermostat, the phone, and the TV remote. Let's say, for example, you're in one of these five-star resort hotels, and it really isn't up to par. I mean, when you get into a room and it's not well cared for, what do you do? What's the tip on how you handle those situations?
What you want to do is you want to bring it to the attention. And a lot of times, if the front desk person's not going to help you, like for instance yesterday I was checking into a hotel and the front desk person, he was real surly, and I thought he kind of had he had a chip on his shoulder. So I spoke to the manager on duty. I just said, and the real key thing is when you have a problem, you don't want to